All right. So looks like the mic wasn't even on. Technical difficulties. That's so freaking funny. So it looks like we're just going to start from here because we're going to start from this point, and then I'm going to chop it from 26 minutes. So I'll make a note there. This is because we don't edit a lot of videos at the end of the day. 26 minutes. All right. We like to go. I like to leave them raw and uncut. So 26 minutes. Edit. So that was a long ass rant because you can see my voice is already kind of chalked up. And I was talking, there's some juicy, awesome nuggets in there. Okay. So we're going to start fresh. We'll just start this thing right from the beginning. Okay. So if you see this video in the future, save it. Okay. Save it. Look for the golden nuggets. Today is Friday highlights. Okay. I'm going to be your host of the Amp Live Real Estate Show. We got our rants and raves, and it's all about, hey, are we living in idiocracy today? Is that where we're at? Is that the time that we're in? If you ever seen the movie, go watch it. If you've never seen it, go watch it. If you've seen it, then go watch it again because it's pretty damn funny, right? But it does suck, okay? And that's what it kind of feels like. And hopefully we get to change that, okay? Because the only way we can is doing it from the bottom up. And we got to change the guards at the end of the day. Okay, so my voice is getting a little weird. I'm going to get some water. I'm going to get my coffee. I'm going to go ahead and put on a little intro for you that I like to do, and we'll go from there, okay? All right. So, like I tell, hey, when we're working and we're doing this business and mentees do certain things and it don't go a certain way, or even us and even myself, right? Mistakes happen. It's all about making lemonade out of your lemons, right? What the hell are we going to do? Can I shut this off and start all over again? Hell no, right? For what? And we're just going to leave it. Oh, yes, 20, I forgot to turn on the damn button here. That is what it is. But we're going to edit that out. I'm Eric. It's Friday highlights. Usually we're out in beautiful Chino Hills. Well, excuse me, right now we're at an undisclosed location, coming to you live across the United States of America and the world, doing this here, being live streamed on several platforms, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and any other platform that we can connect to. Save this video, watch all the golden nuggets that are there, because we are truly on a mission to help you. We're on a cause and mission to help our fellow Americans across the United States of America, right, to become entrepreneurs, to wake up, to get out of the job and move to a Maverick, right, so you can forge your own path. But guess what? You're not going to forge your own path. If you don't want to, you can, right? That's what I had to do. But we're forging a path, and all you got to do is follow with us, right? So we'll bust some ass as we're going through the path. And then you can follow behind us, and there's strength in numbers, right? United we stand, in God we trust, and we move forward in that direction. And then when you're ready, branch off like a tree, right? Branch off that way, branch off this way, and that's our goal. That's my goal. It's my life goal. It's it sounds kind of cliche, right? Because I'm not a holy roller, but I do. I'm gonna get some water. I do believe in God, and that is my higher power at the end of the day. Woo! Live and uncut, okay? So that's the way I like it, but this one will be cut because we had some technical difficulties. And powering up on some other things, coffee and stuff like that is what it is. But it's a beautiful, wonderful, glorious day. It's Friday highlights, rants and raves. Yes, I'm going to talk a little bit about idiocracy. Are we living in those times? Because it's really irritating, only because of the sign of the times. We're doing this business. I got a couple of decades under my belt, along with the rest of our team, partners, associates, and people that work with us on the real estate side, lending side, and I am part of what's called, I like to call, the private sector, right? Creative real estate investing, period, right? There's bird dogs, there's wholesalers, there's creative real estate investing, there's seller financing, there's shit that people made up, reverse wholesaling, be the bird thing, all kinds of shit. Acronym. I love acronyms too. Don't get me wrong. I love those acronyms, right? AHA, AMP Live, right? PMA. So PMA stands for positive mental attitude. So the rants and raves, the rants are going to be the negative stuff, and the raves are going to be the positive stuff. The rants are NMA, negative mental attitude, and the raves are positive mental attitude. That's what we're going to talk about a little bit today, because we're going to talk about, hey, where's our moral compass gone? Click the link if you read it down below, or if you see this video floating around somewhere on social media or on a website somewhere or online somewhere, right? Or click the link, join. If you like what we're talking about and you like our cause and mission, and maybe you want to be part of it and you want to grow your legacy and you want some of that freedom too, then come aboard, work with us, we'll work with you. That's all we're looking for, is people that can actually punch their way out of a paper bag, right? If you can punch your way out of a paper bag, we want to work with you, right? If you're coachable and you can follow directions, we want to work with you. If you can take action, you're going to get results, guarantee it. And until you get your aha moments on the first time, second time, third time, it's going to happen, right? And then we're going to rinse and repeat. It doesn't have to be any harder than that, but sometimes those things, just those simple things, are huge tasks for people, okay? That's just from experience. I'm Eric. I'm going to be your host for Friday Highlights in the Amp Live Real Estate Show. Today, we're going to talk about the rants and raves of real estate and what's going on across the United States of America, and little tidbits here and there in the world. But how sellers are acting, what's going on with properties, what are the hot markets, what is going on in the area with pre-foreclosures, inherited properties, for sale by owners, what we're about, and how we can work together, and how we're looking for people just like you, and a few other things. I'll tell a little couple stories too, right? So the rants, all right? So once again, I'm Eric. I'm going to be your host, right? One of the founding members of AHA, Americans Helping Americans, and AMP Live, the American Mentee Program. AHA, Americans Helping Americans, one American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, doing our part to get America back on track together with you. And AMP Live, the American Mentee Program, the only program of its kind. We train and mentor you across the United States 7 days a week if needed. But you have to show up to the party. Sometimes people do, and sometimes people don't. You get it, right? It is what it is. We're all human beings. We got life going on. We're all about integrity and loyalty. Communication can break down. We can repair that. But integrity and loyalty, we cannot. So that's a good thing, right? And you're going to find that out in this business. Is very, very different. It does have a low entry point in regards to dollars, because if you just put in some elbow grease, right, good old elbow grease, you can do the business. And you're willing to get your ass beat, because that's what I did while I worked a full-time job on a salary, right, of 40, 45 hours. Didn't think I can work 70, 80, 90 hours, or any human being should, but I did, right, until I got frustrated, and then I had to find something else. I go, this is not life. There's something else better out there for me that fits for me, and that's just been me. I've been kind of like, an entrepreneur. I've been a Maverick ever since I was a young person, a young buck, right, and all that good stuff, or whatever you want to call, the situation. And then jobs, and then I'm not gonna lie, you get in a job and you think, hey, is this it? Am I stuck here? Is this all I'm gonna be doing? Is this my life? And then you got to make a decision, right? And you go, man, there's got to be something else. There is. It's called your mind. It's mindset, right? They're thoughts. It's definiteness of purpose. It's desire, right? You have to formulate some type of plan. You don't have to have all your ducks in a row, but you got to have some ducks in a row, right? And that's the beauty of this business, right? You can get in it. Are a lot of people going to work with you? They say they will. I've heard some crazy stuff. Oh, this is the greatest community. People are so nice. All right, whatever. For now, okay? This is business. Nicey nice goes out the door when business starts to happen, right? And there's some unscrupulous people out there. There's some awesome people out there, and there's people that are out there that have ethics, right? It's life. Human beings are they're a different animal, different species, right? It is what it is. So you got to put God in your heart. You got to be positive. You got to have a positive mental attitude to kill the negative mental attitude. So let's get to the raves, right? Or let's get to some of the rants. Some of the rants and pet peeves that are out there that I'm seeing, okay? But if you're interested and you want to work with us, right, and you want to be part of the mentoring program, or you just want to see if you can get involved with us, click the link down below. Let's talk. share some of your information with us. Set an appointment. If you got some things you want to do, or you got some deals you want to work, or you just want to say, you know what, I don't want to pick up a hammer. I just want to do a friendship deal. I just want to invest my money. I give you a check, you give me a check back. We rock and roll, and we continue to do it and turn the money 2 or 3 times a year or whatever it is, right? That's available. Okay. And this is powered by Amp Live Media. It's sponsored by VIP Execs and Amp Live Media. So take a look, share this with other people, share it with your family. If you're wanting to just have some of that freedom and you want to get out there and learn this business, it is an awesome business. We're going to teach you creative real estate investing. Okay. It's almost like a foundation. I always say like boxing, right? That's the analogy I use. It can be MMA, it can be sports, it can be music, it can be like a band, right? When the band, you got drums, vocals, guitar, or a big band, right? There's always somebody that's going to lead and be the face of the band, or be the face of the baseball team, or be the star, right? It is what it is. Everybody wants to be the star. I get it, but find your place that works best for you, right? I definitely get that. But you should at least try to learn and step out of your comfort zone, because if you step out of your comfort zone, we're all made the same. We're all the same, right? Anybody can do this. You just have to have the right mindset in place. You have to have someone working with you and guiding you, right? You can only go so far with coaching, with the blind leading the blind, and up to a point where you're good enough with coaching, you got to move to the mentoring, right? So it is the ladder movement. Okay, so I'm going to tell you some stuff of what's going on in the industry a little bit. We're seeing a lot of stuff like pre-foreclosures. We just seeing properties that, because the agents and sellers got greedy and putting those properties up too high. And now the market's adjusting, and it's taking longer to sell properties. So investors have gone back. You go, hey, I'm going back old school, right? Last cycle was 60, 65 cents on the dollar. And we didn't have no 60, 65 cents on the dollar minus repairs, right? There was no minus repairs. It was just 60, 65 cents on the dollar. You find a deal like that, you're good to go. You make $35,000 or more, investors are happy. All right, this cycle, everybody got greedy, because it's like anything else. You put a bunch of monkeys in the barrel, they just start fighting, and overflowing, and a bunch of shit happens, right? So if you're stuck in that barrel with a bunch of monkeys, it is what it's going to be, right? It's going to be flapping, slapping, and all kinds of stuff, and everybody trying to do their thing. I'd rather not be in that barrel, right? I'd rather say I'll jump the hell out of the barrel, right? I'll jump out of the barrel, go do my own shit. Go get my own barrel, build my own barrel, go swim in a different barrel or whatever. I'm okay with that, but that's always been me. That's what we're doing here. That is our cause and mission, right? That's why it's a selection process. You can't just write a check to come aboard and work with us. You just can't say, hey, here's our program, and here you go, pay the price, and you got a pulse, and you come aboard. All right? It doesn't work that way. It's a selection process. If you can punch your way out of a paper bag, we're going to work with you. If you're coachable and follow directions, we'll work with you. You can take action, you're going to show up to the party, we'll work with you, right? And because you're going to get results. And then you get your aha moments, and we're going to rinse and repeat. That's what it's about. But let's talk about some of those rants and raves, okay? The rants, which is, like I said, NMA, negative mental attitude. The raves are positive mental attitude, okay? So we're going to kill the negative with the positive. We're going to have solutions with some of that stuff that I'm going to be talking about. First and foremost, the rants. Sellers out there, right? I get it. It's human nature. We're going to be greedy. They want to sell properties, right, that are not fixed up. And I want full market price. That usually happens with inherited properties, right? A bunch of people inherit properties, and they're like, you know what? We want full market value for that. We're going to sell it ourselves, or we're going to get an agent, and then it doesn't sell. But nobody wants to fix it up. Or they say, let's fix it up, and they get together and they slap some lipstick on a pig, and they go, let's get full market value, and it doesn't work. Then they get frustrated because there's always somebody who wants the money. No matter what. Unless you're the only heir, right? Then it's different. Then you're going to do what you're going to do. And I'm going to touch base a little bit on idiocracy, right? What the hell is that about? Okay, that stuff's got to change. America is one of the greatest countries in the world, but let's get back to the sellers, okay? What's happening with sellers? And I'm going to talk about what's happening with buyers, investors, and just in general with real estate agents and brokers, and just kind of enlighten you about some things. And of course, these are just my opinions, right? They're my opinions in the Amp Live Real Estate Show. My opinions personally. You can take them, you can adopt them, you can whatever, and use them for entertainment purposes. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a CPA. Full disclosure. So but that's what this is about. We get to connect across the United States of America and the world with this beautiful, beautiful stuff you should be doing, and eventually you will, or not. I definitely get it. But mindset is everything, okay? So there are some sellers and investor or agents that are listing stuff, the prices are too high. Okay, gloom and doom. No, it's not gloom and doom. Is the market going to crash? No. unless we got some asteroids or some shit coming in, it's going to blow up, or you see the Russians coming out, the sky in the United States, or the Chinese or something like that, then that's totally different. And yeah, we're just effed. Nothing, not effed, but we'll be able to do what we need to do, right? Because Americans can take their shit, right? All get together. That's when Americans get together, right? We're up against other countries. But when it's all open, everything seems dandy and stuff, Americans kind of lose sight of stuff very quickly, right? We all do. Even myself, 6 months later, going, oh, whatever, what happened? Okay, I remember, but hey, that was then. Let's move forward, right? We're very resilient. Americans are very resilient. You're very resilient. So, but we have to do what we need to do. We can't forget about stuff. We can't forget about history. We can't, make history disappear, right? America is one of the greatest countries in the world, right? And you got your first generation, second, third, fourth generation Americans. It is what it is. We're all here to live the dream, to get some freedom, to help our families, and to help our fellow Americans, right? So check this out. Settlers are doing certain things, right? I've been told, right, by my boss, right, at the end of the day is like, hey, you're too nice of an investor. You're a nice investor, right? You're nicer than all the other investors, right? Investors won't do what you do. They won't buy cars and stoves and refrigerators and buy people's junk, right? And just to give them more money, right? At the end of the day, other investors will take the deed and then say, get the hell out, right? Aren't you supposed? I thought y'all this and that, right? Some take the deed, some do some sub two stuff, but it's not really sub two. It's like sub bullshit, right? It is what it is. So you got to watch out. Or they don't have the experience and they don't record the right documents and they don't do certain things, or try to even figure it out after they do, right? And then it goes bad. It goes bad for the investor, it goes bad for the seller, it goes bad for the one working the deal. So, having some knowledge is super important, right? That's like that analogy, like I mentioned, boxing, right? Or whatever it is. I'll use the boxing one. The goal with us, and anytime we're working with anybody, is knowledge, knowledge, knowledge. Devil's in the details, right? But before you get in that ring, you need to know what to do. Okay? The United States of America makes you go get a license for real estate, right? So you got to go. Doesn't mean just because you get a license doesn't mean you know anything about real estate. You don't. You just know what needs to be done for the state laws and federal laws and some other stuff and some broker stuff. That's it. But you don't know how to sell. There's not going to teach you how to sell. You have to go take your license and you pass, and it's just another way to get a bunch of money, which is bullshit money at the end of the day, and lobbyist money. But at the end of the day, that's what they do. You go find a brokerage, and you find a brokerage. What happens? Right? First, statistically, 1 or 2 years, you spin your wheels. Same thing as an investor, right? You can say, I want to do this real estate investing. I want to become a wholesaler. I want to go buy the $49 for this, $99 for that, $150 for that, $2,000 for some training here, $5,000 for this training, $27,000 for this training, $50,000 for that other training, right? Because they said, hey, this is what you do, this is what we do, and you want to learn it. There are people that do that. There are some people that take seconds on their homes and HELOCs just to go to those seminars. I get it. You're investing in yourself. That's awesome, right? But sometimes we've been in the back end office of some of these. It just is what it is, right? Of course, it's the last cycle, of course. And we look at that stuff. And then when we came to this cycle, we're going, my God, they're still around. They're still selling this crazy old stuff. And there are some awesome programs that are very innovative. They're doing some awesome things too, right? But the same token, $50,000 will show you how to go buy 5 houses in Ohio for that, right? Give us $1 million, we'll buy 10 houses in California. The average investor, 1 or 2 if they're lucky, right? 5,000 to 6,000. I actually met with an investor and a couple investors on Wednesday, right? Where we're talking, they had some money to invest. I went there to get some soft commitments and do what we need to do for deals across the United States and stuff that we do personally, right? I did adopt a trait or a habit, right? Not even a habit. I adopted I don't even know what to call it. I guess it's not even a trait, right? Something that I used to go on appointments. Let's go that way. I used to go on a bunch of appointments. I get it. Network. Cool. Lunch. And then you're paying for people's lunches. They're paying for your lunches and all that crap. And nothing ever happens. Nothing, right? You made a friend. Awesome. Maybe they'll do the business. Maybe they won't do the business because they want to do their own shit. They have their own stuff and I have my stuff. And I'm like, I'm going there to sell you a deal. We're going to meet. You're going to either give me a check. So that's my thing, right? I don't go on appointments. I don't meet on lunch. I don't meet people unless I'm collecting a check, period. There's no reason not to, unless it really is like, you know what? Hey, yeah, they're going to come aboard. They're going to work with us. They're going to do this or that. Maybe it's a job interview from them to us to them or whatever. Or maybe it's a company and it makes more sense. I'm going to hit a brokerage, right? And then I'm going to sit down with a broker and their team and things of that nature and figure out how we can help their agents, right? Dominate their area and destroy their opponents at the end of the day. Then that's awesome, right? and I don't have to collect a check. But my goal is to sell them on AMP Live and AHA, Americans Have Americans. So if you are a brokerage, give us a holler. We'd be more than happy to help out. I don't care where you are in the United States of America. You got, 15, 20, 30, 100, 200, 1,000 freaking agents, one office or 21 offices. Give me a call. Give us a call. Reach out to AmericансHelpingAmericans.net. Reach out to AmpLive.net. Hashtag Get Erick Paul Live. That shit should be everywhere at the end of the day, right? If you're looking for a Maverick and looking for someone to help you do that, reach out. We'd love to help you. Boink, plug, plus, right? So that's a little plug. It is what it is, but that's what we do. Just the same thing with the sponsors, the VIP. VIP execs, right? And Amplified Media. They're flipping the bill for this at the end of the day, and they flip the bill for all this good stuff and other things that we're doing. So let's get back to the rants, okay? Sellers, what the hell are they doing? There's a lot of sellers out there that are pre-foreclosures, and we're working that market. If you're not working that market, I get it. There's good and bad for agents, brokers, but we'll leave that alone. Let's talk about the real estate side, right? The real estate investors. Don't you want to help your fellow Americans? What's the best way to help your fellow American? Get them out of a situation that no one else could get them out of. Most likely, that they couldn't, unless you have some knowledge and you're able to do certain things, right? And we're coming across a lot of sellers that, hey, that's right. I'm a nice investor, right? I'll give people the benefit of the doubt. I'll let them jump through some hoops and do their stuff. If they hang themselves, they hang themselves. We don't have to buy their house. We'll go buy the house around the block because there's a bunch of them all over the place, right? And they got to do what they got to do because we're going to do what we say we're going to do as long as they do, right? But sometimes sellers, I get it, right? They get greedy. They want extra money. They want this. They want that. And some are just like way out there, oblivious to what's even going on, thinking it's the bank's fault. Oh, it's the bank. And some of the stories I hear, when I first started, I was against the bank. I was with the bank. Like, hey, you signed the contract. You're an adult. Pay it. It is what it is. But also the bank started doing some crazy stuff, and it is what it is, and taking advantage. Everybody does that. But not everything is always the bank, right? They got laws they have to adhere to, right? So they can cry and they can whine about, oh, they should have gave me a loan mod. Oh, they should have gave me this, and I'm working in this and that. There's just certain laws that they can't break, right? They're not going to break them for you. At the end of the day, they're breaking for a seller. But if you're an investor, right, and you're out there, you can help these sellers. You can help these sellers like we always tell them, hey, we'll work with you. And if we decide we're not going to buy your house, we're going to at least give you some resources that are going to help you so you don't get ripped off by agents, brokers, or investors, or anybody else for that matter. And if you need us, just give us a holler. Free of charge. We're not going to charge you a dime, okay? There are people that are doing stuff the last cycle, right? They were charging people for loan mods. Attorneys would do loan mods and then not do anything, just collect money. And it made it look bad for all the investors, right? Made the investors, the ones that are doing their shit and doing it correctly, made them look bad. So the government comes in and they do this and they change that and they change the laws. Just like before, we want pre-foreclosures. We want data. You got to go buy it from PropStream, right? Or you got to go to REI Resource or one of the platforms, right? Or go to Batch or anybody to buy data. It used to be expensive to buy data before because it was like some selective thing where you had to go to somewhere where they could pull data, pull this for you, and then give it to you, the telemarketing world, right? Or you can go to a title company, say, hey, I need some pre-foreclosures in this area. I need a farm for this area. And they give it to you for free until the government came up with some bullshit about RESPA and you can't do this and disclosure crap. And now we got to charge. Of course, it created a market, right? Created a market for some savvy people like Property Radar and all these other companies the last cycle and then this cycle to be able to pull data, have it aggravated or what you call it? I forgot what it's called. There's a word for it. And kind of like, pulling data from different places, and then they plug in an API, and then it goes over here, and you go, hey, there's the data I want. I want to skip trace all. I want to get this data, and then I want to have it skip traced, right? Now, before, we couldn't do that. It was pretty expensive to do that, but now it's cheaper than shit, so there's no excuse, right? You can get data. You can get skip tracing. You can get CRMs. There's tons of that stuff out there. If you come aboard and work with us, we'll give you the good and the bad and the ugly of all that. Plus, we're probably going to do that during the holidays of, hey, we're going to let you know stuff that we've tested, right? Stuff that's out there, REI Reply, Batch, REI Black Book, the Flipster, all these different types of softwares that are plugged in with all these different things to do one thing. It's tech. 80% is you, okay? Tech is only 20%. Tech is not going to do a deal for you. It may bring some leads, but you still got to turn that lead into something. You still got to figure out. A lot of people leave a lot of money on the table because they don't know what they're looking at. Like, that's not a deal. It's not a deal. It doesn't fit the wholesale model. doesn't fit the, Burr model or whatever they're looking at. Depends on your level of experience and what you're learning, right? And it's been like that for a while. Even last cycle, there wasn't as many newbies, right? There are newbies out there, but there wasn't as many newbies in last cycle. Thanks to social media and text and Ringo's voice message and all this beautiful stuff right here, right? We have, every Tom, Dick, and Harry is involved in real estate, right? Everybody wants to do it, which is awesome. Okay. But my glasses. I'm gonna get my glasses real quick. And like I said, this is live and uncut. But let me tell you what sellers are doing. So we're finding pre-foreclosures across the United States of America. Go check out AMP Live, American Mentee Program, amplive.net. But sellers are doing certain things. They're, yes, getting greedy. Some are awesome. Some appreciate stuff. Some will cry, and some will go say, thank you for helping me. God bless you. My mom, my dad, my cousin, nobody else came to my rescue. Or you know what? A few people were going to help me, but they said they couldn't. Happens all the time. We actually had one, lady we spoke to, right? And she was involved in she spent the money. She wasn't, she spent the money on all the mortgage stuff. She ended up calling us, see if we can help her out, kind of give her some tips. And at the same token, getting close to the market, and we touch bases with her, and all of a sudden she says, hey, so look, your property's going to auction next month. What are you going to do about it? And when we talked to her, she said, oh my God, you know what? I did get it taken care of. I did get it fixed. And my husband, actually, after I told him, he was saving some money and had some money saved up, and we brought it current. So I was like, wow, that's cool. And I wonder if she got divorced, right? Because that's the making of divorces at the end of the day. It happens, right? And then there's sellers that won't tell you stuff, right? Our goal, we're pretty good at it, right? We're pretty good at picking the right people. But there's always sellers that are not going to tell you a little bit of everything. In our program, our goal is we're going to share with you, right? It's the art of the deal. After you're done with the first call, and we get so much information off that first call, and then we set up our second call and reiterate all that information, because sometimes sellers forget, right, on purpose, or they forget by accident, right, because it's a stressful situation. I did talk to one guy, and he's like, had a little spot in his head. He's like, oh my God, yeah, been so stressed out and this and that. I went to the doctor. He said my hair is falling out, and I got this little patch right here, and it was literally like the size of a dime. It was like gone, right? I said, okay, I definitely get it, right? It's emotional. It's stressful. This property's not worth your health. The property is not worth your life. Who gives a shit, right? Take your loss, move on, okay? And that's where investors can come in. That's where we'll come in. Hey, either reinstate the loan, buy it cash, go sub 2, right? Figure out something where it's beneficial, where it's a win-win-win situation. Or I like to go win, win, win. Win for the client and seller, win for the investors, and we're on the bottom right there. We're last. We get paid last. We work the hardest to make this damn thing work and be put together along with ourselves and the mentee or anybody who's working with us, right? Or just people that we do business with. But the client has to be on point. For whatever reason they feel uncomfortable, we won't do the deal. Even if there's 50, 60, 80, $100,000 or more on the table, it don't matter. We will walk away. It's not worth it. If the investors don't feel comfortable, we walk away. If I don't feel or we don't feel comfortable, we walk away, okay? And it happens, right? And sometimes you'll have unscrupulous sellers that just won't tell you certain things. But usually after our first call, we get all that information, we pull title, we confirm it, everything seems good, but there's always sometimes we'll come across some people that say, you know what, they didn't say certain things. They didn't tell us certain things. And it happened on a couple of deals. It happens. It is what it is. Oh, I had a lien. I had a second lien. I had a third lien. Oh, I got a piece of land in the back that hasn't been signed over yet. No problem. See, all those are easy. They're not easy. This means we've got to work a little harder to make those things happen, because the agent's going to come down the wire and not going to mess with it. Broker's not going to mess with it. Other investors are not going to mess with it. Or they may mess with it and they'll get stuck, or they're not savvy enough and they don't know what the hell they're doing. Or an agent will come in and try to work with a pre-foreclosure client, and there's not enough time on the table, but they talk them into a listing and it doesn't work. Just because they list the property doesn't mean what? Do you think the bank's going to stop? No. If their number comes up with a bunch of other deals or a bunch of other properties or liens or loans, they're not going, this is a special one. It's listed. We're going to help them out. They're 80 years old. They're this, they're that. Or, this is their story. Oh, my God. Did you see their hardship story? Oh, my God. The bank doesn't care. All they care about is a loan number. Our investors are more important than the people in the properties, period. That's just the real truth about it, right? But sometimes idiocracy comes in, and it is what it is, and people get delusional, and things happen. And go, well, I'm working with my bank. The bank don't care, right? And then there's going to be other people that are going, hey, I'm here to help them and do this and do that. The kindness of my heart. Cool. Let me see you write a check. Reinstate that 30, 40, $80,000 loan. Go ahead and make their payment of $2, 3, $4,000 payment every month. Yeah, go for it. Let me see you do that. I always like to tell sellers when we're working that way. I say, hey, you know what? Well, I'm working with my agent. I'm going to do this and do that. I said, cool. Is your agent going to make up your back payments for you? Are they going to make your payments for you? Are they going to clean this all up for you? No, they're just going to list it. I said, oh, great. Okay, cool. Well, if you find a real estate investor that can, or you find an agent, right, that's willing to make my payments on all my properties, let me know who they are, because I want them to do that for me. And they chuckle and they laugh, and it's funny, but it's true, right? It's just, it is what it is. People, and that's why I love this business, right? You find awesome people that appreciate you. You find other people that don't appreciate you. That's cool. You walk away and move on, right? Or you put them to the hammer and say, this is it. This is the way it is. This is what's going to happen, right? And this is the way it's going to be. And we move forward, right? Because it's a business. It's not a charity. If you want to do a nonprofit or a charity, that's totally different. And go do that, right? But, people just aren't. And you got to watch out because there are investors who will go take advantage of that stuff, right? And then there's others that are going to say, oh, my God, you're taking advantage of, probates and inherited properties and pre-foreclosures. And okay, whatever. Stop crying and whining. Toughen up. Let me see you grab some of your own money and take care of those people. I always tell them that. Are you willing to do that? No, I got a family to take care of. I got a job. I got this and that. All right, then shut the fuck up. They're not going to do it, right? That's not their business. That's our model, other people's model, and we go and do it, right? So remember, and when you're doing that, you're going to help out that seller. Their credit in 6 to 12 months is going to start getting better because they don't got a foreclosure on their record, right? The payments are being taken care of, or the property got paid off. And now they can move on with their life in a new chapter in their life. If you do take it over seller financing subject to or some weird, whatever creative real estate investing way, then guess what? You're going to get it and you fix it and you buy it all cash. Cool. They move on. Their life is going to be better. They're going to start getting offers from credit cards in the next 6 to 12 months. And then you're going to go in and put some people to work, right? If people that complain, I always say, and you got a regular job, right? How many people have you put to work, right? How many people have you put to work? Right? That's what it comes down to. It should be your goal. I want to put people to work. That's our goal. Our cause and mission is to work with the fellow Americans across the United States of America, work with investors, right? Work with sellers. At the same token, just kind of duplicate and share this with others so then they can go do it and help other people, right? And help other fellow Americans and help them wake up and get out of the JOB and move to the Maverick or stay in the JOB career and take all their juicy money and put it in the lane of a Maverick or give it to a Maverick to let them rock and roll with it, right? Then we're all helping each other. Then it becomes real. It is real. It can be done. It's being done right now. Not just from us, but other people in the United States of America. But it happens, right? People do some crazy stuff. Here's a crazy story, right? I will not say names, and there are stories, so you can believe them, not believe them. Doesn't matter. It's almost like entertainment on TV. And that's what this is out, almost like a reality show, because I did say it's a real estate investing show, right? It's an Amplified Real Estate Show. Take it for what it is, right? But change the names to protect the innocent. Change the names to protect the knuckleheads. Change the names to protect the dummies, the idiocracy people that are out there. It is what it is, right? And even me, sometimes I have my idiocracy times, right? We all do. But the bottom line is that when things happen, it's kind of, you just take it with a grain of salt. There are things that will get you down and out. And you always got to remember, put yourself in other people's shoes. Okay? That's what I do. And that's why I'm able to tap into this for the last 19, 20 years. And then even when I was younger, and I was doing music and I was doing my stuff and all kinds of other stuff, right? I was always in tune with the universe, always in tune with visualization, affirmations, and in tune with other people, almost like an energy, right? And I can sense certain things, right? We all feel we got that. Some people have a higher vibration than others. And that's the goal, is to have a higher vibration over time. And then other people are going to not even think like you, right? That's a good thing. But our goal is to get everybody's, united we stand, right? Get those vibrations up, right? There's other things that are beyond us in this that are their goal is to bring those vibrations down. Our goal is to bring those vibrations bottom up, not top down, bottom up, right? And we want to help you. But check this out. And life happens to people. It's going to happen to me, happen to you. It's going to happen to everybody across the United States. But if we work together and we do stuff, then we put that out there. Life is not that bad. Life's not going to give you too. Life, God won't put too much on your plate that you cannot handle, right? That's the way you look at it. And some people's spilt milk are bigger than others. But I'm going to tell you a cool story. Here we go. Ready? Check this out. There was a seller we're working with. Pre-foreclosure. We looked at it, did the data, came down the wire in a campaign, one of the mentees working with and people we work with, checking it out. And we're doing all the due diligence and doing our stuff and doing the process and getting the submission, doing the due diligence, setting up the second call, talking to the seller, and then see if we can help them out. After looking at all the numbers, it's probably going to be a short sale, over encumbered, right? No one's going to buy it, and they got an auction that's coming up down the wire, right? Very close. And then, if it goes to auction, no one's going to buy it. Investor doesn't want it. It's going to go back to the bank. And then when it goes back to the bank, as an REO, real estate owned, they're going to go ahead and evict those people out of their property because they don't own it anymore and they haven't paid the bills. And they're going to get a foreclosure on the record, right? Or whoever owns the property and whoever's name it is. And then the bank is going to go ahead and have them removed. And then they're going to hire a broker. They're going to do the lockout cleanup thing. And then they'll hire a broker to put it on the market and sell it. That's the REO market. But this one's like a short sale. It could be a short sale. The people that were in the home wanted to, first they said, hey, I don't care. We're going to give this is the thing too, very indecisive, right? People get indecisive. Depends on what's on the table and what they can get out of something. And if they think there's something, then their attitudes change. Well, I'm going to do this. I never said that, or whatever, right? Or if they feel like dire straits, you know what? I'm tired. I'm burned out. One or two things, either you're going to help me figure out how I can do whatever I need to do so I can move on with my life, or we're just going to give the house back to the bank, which is a deed in lieu of foreclosure, or we're just going to stay here for as long as we can until it goes back to the bank and then they kick us out, right? And then we're going to move to another state because we're tired of the place that we're in and we just want to move on. So I'm like, okay, cool, we can do that. And we have some solutions, right? The only solution they really have, well, there's two, they're not solutions, right? But those are two options that are going to happen. They're either going to give it back to the bank and deed in lieu of foreclosure and move on with their life. Or two, they wait and hang out, goes to the auction, nobody buys it, goes back to the bank, and then goes to that process. And then they move on. Third way is a short sale. Yes, do a short sale. You can stay there and live there for as long as you need to, right? And figure some things out and make some, gear up to go to your new location. In the meantime, if we come in, we're going to do a short sale. Yes, we're going to bring an agent to the table. They're going to negotiate and bring a specialist in to negotiate the short sale. We'll go in and say, hey, this is what we're willing to offer. If we get an awesome offer and a deal, great. If we don't, the agent's going to make some money. The seller's going to be okay. They'll do a short sale to the point where hopefully it doesn't come back and bite them on the butt. Is the way they need to be designed if you do it right. And, at least then it's done. And then they can rebuild their life, right? So that's the process. And you just stack your short sales, put them in there and stack them. And when they pop, they pop. If they're good, awesome. If they're not, cool. The agent's going to, make some money or whatever. So that's a great way to win that market. But it's not a short sale market. But just happens to be that some are popping and dropping down the wire, right? They're coming down the wire. It's like that. We drop a ball and it does all its thing. And, some are going to go this way up, short sale, right? And that's what happens with stuff like that. On this particular property, check it out. It was kind of weird because they're, I guess, gone for 3, 4, 5 months. They bought an RV. I was like, why are you buying an RV and your house is in foreclosure? The house is in dire straits, needs tons and tons of work. How's that? Needs tons and tons of work, right? And at the same token, they went on a trip for 4 or 5 months. And then people at home are going, hey, what's going on? Why are we getting these letters? Why is this happening? Why are people knocking on the doors pre-foreclosure? That's why, right? That's what's happening. And then they go from that to saying, give it back, our deed in lieu of foreclosure, to like, no, we want to stay in the house. We're not selling this house. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do this. And then like asking us like we're attorneys. Say, no, you got to get an attorney for that. We need to know if they did something illegal. Well, go hire an attorney, right? Figure it out. We're here to help you out. We got some solutions for you. There are a couple of creative ways we could have helped them with a short sale. And there's certain ways and certain things that you can do legally to help them out, get them some money to move on with their life and do certain things, at least have a game plan and move forward, right? But when money's involved, or they think certain things are involved, or whatever's going on in their lives, I get it, right? And that's where things kind of seem a little shifty and weird. Then you move on. If you can't help them, there's an ego thing, right? And I get that. I did that a lot in the last cycle. I want to help everybody. I can do this deal. I can structure it. I'll make it happen, right? Even at the point where we get ripped off or we lose 10 grand, 15 grand for doing stupid shit, or some crazy old lady does some stuff, and things can happen, right? Because you're trying to help out some people. And like even another deal that we're doing, right? Stuff happens, right? So you just got to protect yourself. You live and learn. That's why we get everything, devil in the details, right? We do super due diligence on stuff. You don't want to be losing money. So the goal is to say, hey, can we help these people? But that's kind of the rave. It was kind of like seeing a trend on that, right? So it's like, okay, let's be super nice, help them out. Or, hey, be super nice. But, hey, once they turn, then it's game on, right? I always say PMA, positive mental attitude, right? Positive mental attitude. Treat others as they would treat you, and you treat them the same way. An eye for an eye type stuff. Pick your battles, right? We're here to help you. But if you want to turn, it's almost like a dog turning on you and biting you. I'm not saying sailors are dogs, but you know what I mean? I'm just saying that's it's unethical. Or it's just whatever. It's a moral compass that's not quite there. What are you thinking? What are people thinking, right? Because it was a Chinese virus. They got a taste of not having to work. They got some free checks and all kinds of stuff for the ones who did take that stuff, right? And whatever. I don't want any of that damn government money or anything or whatever, They take it, they do it, and then they get a taste. Oh, this is what it's like to be kind of rich, how to be rich. No, people work their asses off to get rich. People work their asses off every single day, and then they do what they need to do to invest in other things or invest in businesses that are going to give them some more money and make that money while they sleep and things of that nature. So that's the difference, right? So that's the rant. And I thought it was a funny thing. It wasn't funny. It was kind of sad, really, but it was kind of weird, too, thinking that people would do that and then not pay the mortgage and not do this and not fix up their house and then take off on who knows what, a vacation, buy this, buy that, and then bitch and cry and say, no, we're keeping the house. We're not going to do a short sale. We're not going to do this and that. Like they got a leg to stand on. They don't. They're fucked. That's what's going to happen, right? And then some other things I won't even disclose about the personal shit, right? But that's fucked up. There's some fucked up shit that was going on there. Anyways, there's a lot of stuff that happens, the good, the bad, the ugly. We try to focus on the good and helping the people that, hey, appreciate what we're doing for us, for them, and vice versa. They're helping us as well because we're expanding and growing our business and allowing us to help our fellow Americans, whether it's a single-family property, storage units, commercial property, multifamily, it doesn't matter. The program works the same. Creative real estate investing works the same. It's just a little bit more due diligence with multifamily, apartment buildings, retail, strip malls, industrial, right? All that good stuff. Parched. All right. Oh, shit, an hour? All right, we're cutting that out. So we're done. There's a full hour right there. I got to chop out about, well, it doesn't matter. I think it was like 22 minutes, and the sound was off, right? But hey, hope you're having an awesome Friday. Go out there and help your fellow Americans, okay? Get that data. Go after those NODs, those pre-foreclosures, inherited properties, for sale by owners, right? If you're an agent or broker and you want to dominate, reach out. If you're a wholesaler and you're stuck and you want to dominate, reach out. If you're a bird dog or you're bird dogging for other people and they're not giving you the love or sharing the love with you, come on down, click the link. Share some of the stuff that you're having problems with or issues with, and we'll see if we can point you in the right direction or bring you in and work with you exclusively, okay? So, but it is a selection process, okay? It's like a last cycle. I used to take people in, give them 30 days, and we'd have go through it and make sure they can punch their way out of paper bag. It's the same stuff now, right? Be able to punch your way out of paper bag, decoachable, follow directions. You're going to take action. You're going to get results, and then we're going to rock and roll. In 30 days, if you're making us money, we're writing you a check, you're going to stick around. If it's 30 days and you're not writing, we're not writing you a check, you got to go, right? That's the hence of kind of like our 30-day challenge, right? That's where it kind of morphed into. Before, it's almost like we're doing a 30-day challenge the last cycle and just didn't know about it. But it was 30 days, and that's the way it was. And still to this day, it's the same thing, right? If we want to work with people, we'll give people shots at the end of the day. Not me as much because, hey, bullshit's bullshit. I hear a lot of bullshit at the end of the day, and people, start off great, but then they fizzle out, or they say they're going to do great and then don't do shit, right? So you just got to pick the right people. I'm willing to work with you at the end of the day, one-on-one. If it's a good fit, click the link. Let's see. Let's work together. If you like what you see on these videos, share them, watch them, always save the stuff and look for those golden nuggets because I'll be dropping some awesome stuff all the time, right? In regards to the business or pre-foreclosures or different types of software and resources that you can use. And hey, go out and do what you want to do in your life, right? Follow your dreams, right? Follow your dreams, go for it. Don't let people tell you can't do something. That is all bullshit, okay? And you're probably saying, well, this is all I got. This is what's on the table. This is what life has given me. Okay. You figure out how to change it, right? And there's some cool little things, right? Change your thoughts, change your life, right? It's true. If you want to elevate your attitude and altitude, you have to change your attitude to get to a higher altitude. It's true. Check it out. Steve Harvey, right? 300 things from God. I challenge you to go out and write 300 things from God. That's 300 is a lot. Trust me. It can be tangible and intangible. Try it. When you're writing your goals, and hopefully you write some goals. If you're not writing goals, you need to start writing some goals and figure out some goals and reverse engineer your life if you need to. And then ask God and pray. I pray every single day, every single morning. I'll get on my knees. I do my thing. I focus on stuff. I focus on certain things, and I go to my quiet space and do my morning ritual. And sometimes I have to do it. If I don't have the time, I'll do it later, or I'll do pieces. But the goal is to hyper-focus your mind, right? Hyper-focus your mind so you can stay positive. I had a couple of days ago, it was pretty, I was having a bad day, right? It was one of those toe things, right? You stub your toe and like shit, and then you stub your toe again and again and again, and you're going, shit. It's one of those days where I should have stood home, right? And I believe that was Wednesday. It's kind of one of those weird days, then I had to go out because usually Wednesday's an admin day. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, I'll go out with my appointments and, it goes the way they need to. But I went out and met some investors and stuff and trying to, work with them because since they had some money, they want to do some investing, some new construction stuff, wanted to fix and flip and all this good stuff, right? And they just want to write a check. They just want to write a check, get a check back. So, we kind of that, but that was the kind of the day I was having. So I had to like reframe, redirect, PMA, positive mental attitude. And, the day went good. Okay. The rest of the day went good. All right. I was out till dark, but it is what it is, right? But that's my choice because I want, that's the only time I'm going to meet. I'm going to meet to collect the check or get a soft commitment or work with some investors or something of that nature that's going to help each other, make it reciprocal. The only thing with a couple of the investors was, or especially one of them was like, it wasn't too reciprocal, right? It was like 1 to 5. You got one thing, you want to write a check. We have 5 things on top of that one, right? Or we don't need the money, right? Because we can go out and get the money anywhere at the end of the day. And we got the knowledge, right? We got the mortgage. We got the real estate company. We got the creative real estate investing side of the things. Plus, we're bringing the deal to the table, which costs money to bring to the table. Then we got to go ahead and structure the deal and put the deal together and then get it all put together in a package and work with the seller and then get it through COE, close of escrow. Before we do all that, we got to fix it. We got to rehab it. We got to do all that work. So it doesn't justify a 50-50 split, does it? That's not 50-50, right? It isn't. So, it needs to be reciprocal. So, the goal is to get you back a good return investment. That's what we're going to do for the gentleman, right? And do a couple of friendship deals. Let's see how it goes. And if it goes good and you write a check, we get you a check back and you like what's going on, then we can start talking about some splits, right? Maybe a 70-30 split, right? A 80-20 split, or, right now it's 90-10, right? 5-1 over your one, right? And you only got and if you had millions, that's different. This works something out. Even if you don't have millions, still 5-1, right? What's fair is fair. I always use the analogy of hunting. If you've never been hunting, it is what it is. But when you go hunting, you got to suit up. You got to get everything prepared, right? And then you got to go out and look for a deer, and then boom, you find a deer and you shoot it. When you shoot the deer, right, you got to go out there immediately and gut it and cut it, and you got to let it bleed out and do it correctly, right? And then you take that deer, and then you got to take it and say, I want some steaks. I want some steaks, and I want this. And you got to take it to somebody, a butcher, who's going to turn that into steaks and put it in your freezer, right? And wrap it all up. Then some people go, well, I want some deer jerky. Okay. Then you're going to take it some pieces, and they're going to slice it and season it and smoke it and do some deer jerky, right? And so there's a process to all that, right? Now, if you do it all and you shoot the deer and you cut it all up and package it up, and then you make some awesome deer jerky, then you know what? You get to keep the whole enchilada, deer style, right? Now, when you don't, there's other people involved, and you get what you are, you get what you should get at the end of the day, right? It's fair. You get in what you put out. You get in what you put out. I always say, he who has the deals makes the rules, not he who has the money in this business when you're doing creative real estate investing. Okay, because that's where the gold lies, right? That's where the leverage lies. And if you line it up, you can have your pick at different types of people. If you got an awesome juicy deal and you buy the thing right, like my mentor used to tell me, right? If you buy the deal, you make your money when you buy it. You make your money when you make the offer. You make your money when you lock it up, not when you sell it. So if you make that, if you got a juicy, awesome deal, if you got to dump the son of a bitch, you're still going to make money, right? And if you have an awesome deal, then there is somebody out there, if you're willing to give up a split, who will write a freaking check. There's your private real estate investor, right? You don't need the bank. You don't need the credit. You have a house. Your credit is the house. Your credit is the apartment building. Your credit is the storage unit that shows, hey, awesome. Look at we got equity. The cash flow is awesome. Yeah. How do I invest in? How do I secure my investment? Right. Obviously, it's going to be by the piece of real estate, right? You're going to come in and be the first trustee and be the bank, or they're going to get a piece of the pie, like syndication, right? Piece, right? Or you're going to do some type of equitable fund, which is like crowdfunding, right? With some of those things, and get people that are going to come in with $1,000, $10,000, $5,000, 30, 50, 100 or more, right? And put all that money together, like some of these other platforms and crowdfunding are doing. Most of them are doing it for, excuse me, commercial and new construction, or building apartments and all that good stuff, or locking down apartments and storage units even, right? But it's very, very rare that they do it for single family properties. There are some peeps that are doing it, right? That was my idea last cycle. I go, that's awesome. Once they started this crowdfunding thing, I go, that's where the future is going to go. All right. So mark my words. If you see this video, maybe nobody ever see it ever again, or it gets buried, or I delete it, or whatever. The bottom line is that's going to be the future. Future of brokerages. That'll be the Remax model, the Keller Williams model, all the other models, and the Amp Live model, right? The Americans Helping Americans model, the VIP execs model, right? Where it's going to be crowdfunding, right? You're a brokerage, and you're going to partner up with a financial company, and you're going to put those things together, right? And you're going to let the financial company pay out the pay and do all that good stuff and build the site, and you're going to bring stuff and bring volume, and then you're going to let everybody bid. Hey, I want to list the property, list it with the platform, list it with the platform. They do what? They're going to bid. And a bunch of little investors are going to put all their money in because they all want to get a little return on investment. And one or two things are going to happen. They're going to bid, and it's going to sell, and their seller gets their money, and boom, the property's sold. Or it's going to be a buy and hold, an Airbnb, a rental of some sort, right? And then it stays, and you get to collect your money, you keep their money, but it stays in the brokerage. It gets managed by the brokerage, but they're all third parties. So a piece of the pie is going all over the place, right? That's probably going to be the future, right? At the end of the day. Will it happen? I don't know. It's going to be like the Uber of houses, the Uber of buying houses, the Uber of investing, right? Because a lot of people don't want single family. Blackstone tried to do that several years ago, and it didn't fucking work. So other companies are trying to do it with this crowdfunding thing and try to crowdfund houses and get a bunch of small investors and do that, and maybe do it with the rental properties and go that route because there's more tax deductions and a bunch of other shit. But that's my rant, or actually that's my rave. Sorry, that's my rave. That's positive mental attitude. And the future, the next cycle, that's where it's probably going to happen. There's going to be platforms like that. And that's where we're going. We're looking into all that good stuff and figuring out how to do that. We want to position ourselves for that when it comes down the wire. But also right now, it's about today, right? It's about the now. We want to help you. Want to help you with your real estate investment career. Want to help you with your freedom. Want to help you build a legacy for your family, okay? The cause and mission. And if you like what we're doing, and we're rocking and rolling together, and we're building a long-term relationship for the next couple of cycles, right? Then great. My goal for you is, hey, let's get you an office. Let's rock and roll in Texas. Let's rock and roll in Missouri. Let's rock and roll in Ohio. Let's rock and roll in Florida. Let's rock and roll in Washington, right? Everywhere and in between, it doesn't matter. Because everywhere there's properties, everywhere there's people, and things happen, right? Doesn't matter. There's always going to be distressed properties. There's always going to be a situation where something needs to be structured into a deal creatively, period, right? And that's our specialty. That's our goal. That's what we do. We've been doing it since 2003 all the way till now, and it's 2022, and we're getting coming up on 2023, right? So let's rock and roll. Will there be some awesome things happening? Sure, right? We're going to have some promos and things of that nature and making some offers. Oh, there's a cool book that we've been looking at. I'll share it with you. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you won't. But check it out. I agree with this guy. I like this guy. It's $100 million offers, right? This guy named Alex, right, had a bunch of gyms and a bunch of other things, right? But I like what he talks about, right? It's about the offers and things of that nature. It's about selling. It's about saying, look, if you don't come aboard and work with us, it's almost like saying you're an idiot if you don't. Not saying you, but that's kind of how he's talking, how he designs some stuff when he's selling his memberships or working for other gyms, and he had licensing and franchising and all that good stuff, right? It's almost to the point of going, look, we're giving you this, that, this, and that to be successful. It's almost like a franchise, right? You're getting all the tools that are needed. You just got to work it. You got to learn it. You got to practice, and you got to become the expert. And we're going to help you because you're not alone, right? You're not by yourself. You're not trying to figure it out by watching 20,000 freaking videos or reading a bunch of PDFs, right? Or the blind leading the blind going to the meetup groups and the Facebook groups and all kinds of weird shit, right? It's not that it's weird, but it's a start. For me, when I got started, I didn't have that. I had books, right? I had some videos, right? If I paid for them, or CDs, or the internet. We did have the internet, right? So I'm not that old. And we actually use the internet to make us a lot of money, right? We use the internet, the papers that are now online websites, right? And all that good stuff. We adapted to the internet. That's the thing about us and the thing about me. We will always adapt, adjust, maneuver, massage, right? And rock and roll instead of perishing. There's a lot of old dogs that are going, man, I don't like all this social media and this text and lead generation. Just look, I got money. Give me deals. Can you lead gen for me? No, we're not a lead generation company. You got to learn the art of the deal. Oh, I know all that good stuff. Okay, that's cool. And since you know it, go do it, right? So we're not for everybody. And then there's some people going, oh my God, it costs money. It costs this. I'm looking for free. Free as shit. You get what you pay for, right? It's almost like the Think and Grow Rich book. If I give it to you for $100, you're going to read the front, the back, and you're going to like read it and consume it. If I give it to you for free, you'll look at it, look at the back, and go put it on that shelf where the rest of my books are at, or wherever you keep your books. We live in a monetary world. It is what it is, right? But life is free, right? Your thoughts are free. Your mind is free. Your choice is free to a degree, right? That's the only thing you got control over. Thoughts are things. Thoughts are things. If you do things in a certain way, it works. It's got to have your mind, your body, and your soul, right? All in line, working together with God, and leave the hard stuff to God. Don't try to figure it out. You don't have to. A lot of people think they got control of everything. They don't. And there's others that think, oh, I don't have any control. But you do. It's kind of weird, huh? Oxymoron type stuff, right? But it's true. I'm going to sign off here. I'm Eric from AHA Americans Helping Americans. One American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time. Doing our part to get America back on track together with you. Go out there from the bottom up. United we stand. Help out your fellow Americans. And if you've never helped out a fellow American or you haven't put somebody to work, that should be your goal. Go do it, okay? It's going to help you. It's going to wake up, and it's going to just explode the United States of America with awesomeness, okay? We're an awesome country. And maybe not right now so much, but it's all right. We're going to work on that together, right? That's what we're going to do. That's what we're about. We work together. United States of America is just a melting pot of what? Heinz 57. All different types of cultures, right? It's almost like a giant United States of America, right? That are just, all a melting pot of all kinds of races and people and Hispanics and stuff and different colors. It is what it is, right? We're all human beings. We all bleed the same, man. I got people that call me stuff and say, I'm Hispanic, right? You know what I mean, right? I may be as what do you call it? As American as apple freaking pie, that's for sure. Ain't no lie about that. I love my country, right? But at the same token, people are gonna be pissed off at shit. It is what it is. Hopefully you get some value from this. Yeah, I'm a pretty straightforward person. No bullshit involved, no drama. But we're here to help you. So hopefully we can work together in some capacity. If not, that's okay. Right? We're going to keep on rocking. We're going to keep on doing what we're going to do because it's working. And if God allows us to get to the next couple of cycles or next couple of decades beyond that, and pass on the torch to someone, that's what we're looking to do. Open up offices across the United States of America, help people across the United States of America, and do our thing, right? So I'm Eric. Don't forget, check out the Erick report as it drops too, right? There'll be some Erick reports, so sign up down below and get on our list, get on the email list. Hashtag Get Erick Paul Live if you want to see some of my stuff that's floating around out there. Go to amplive.net, go to americanshelpingamericans.net, reach out to VIP Execs or Amp Live Media, right? If you're looking to become an agent, broker, or want to do loans, or just get into what I call the private sector, real estate investing. We're going to help you, okay? We want to work with you. All right, once again, rock and roll and all that you do. I'm going to go ahead and sign off here, put on these crazy spectacles, and go from there. There's a long one, hour and 26 fucking minutes, but we're going to chop this down to a little bit too. So have a good one. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.